We're moving. Hey, right there. Hey. Where's my fishing rod? Where's my fishing rod? Oh yeah, we're moving. Hey. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, from over there. I thought it was kind of my name. Here we go. Save the day. Oh,
that's only because of one. That's it. It's going to be going on the ball real quick. It's good, Papa. You're good. You want this one too or no? Baby's fine. So by the way, the irony.
if I have a crew on the ship, I will never know.
When I take the very few times out, whatever, this is
Alright, how's everybody doing today?
Very good.
Oh, that was terrible. How's everybody doing today? That's a lot better. I want you guys on board, not too bad there. Before I start my tour, I'm going to go over a few rules with you guys. Hope I have you over 400 life jackets. Been around since 1935, 85 years. And since 1935, those life jackets have been there. So I really don't know if they still work. Oh, well, okay, guys, let's get us next to Yellowback Coast Guard so you guys are all good and in safe hands. Alright, down below we got the restrooms. Got men on starboard, women on port side. If you guys don't know which side of the foot, you want to introduce yourselves. Alright, we got 2 straps, chairs next to every stairwell below deck and up deck. Do me a big favor, throw away your traps. It makes my job a whole lot easier. And it keeps our oceans clean out here. And it's a little breezy out here, so just make sure that traps is flying around and you just touch it in there so it's garbage. So it makes my job a whole lot easier. And it keeps the oceans clean out here. Alright, we do have fire hoses and fire extinguishers. More please do not touch our camp with those. Our uniform crew is trained to work with that in case of an emergency. Alright, as you guys know, we're on this crazy pandemic, COVID-19. When you guys are up and walking around out of your seats, you guys must have those masks on. Once you guys are seated and properly social distance, you guys are more than welcome to take those masks off. I do have mine off, and I'm just enclosed area around you guys, so I'm all good to go. Alright, this vessel is a non-smoking vessel, meaning no cigars, no cigarettes, no vapes, no electronics, and none of that wacky stuff from Colorado. Alright guys, we're on South Florida, not Colorado. Those rules just haven't changed just yet there. Alright, we're also abiding with Coast Guard rules, meaning you guys must remain seated at all points in time. So you guys are going to go grab a drink from the bar or use the restroom. Otherwise, you guys must remain seated. Like I said, Coast Guard does not like our customers up and walking around out of their seats without a reason or purpose behind that. I'm going to introduce you guys to your crew on board. We got up top Captain Heather spinning the wheel. We got Melissa and Ida, crewmates on board. I have Steven, I will be your commentator here today. And we got the 2 most important people on board, Gina and Trey, your bartender. Give them a round of applause there, guys. Alright, and we can serve hot chocolate. We serve hot chocolate with all hot chocolate, coffee, Irish coffee, you name it, we got it back there. Keep yourselves warm out here. You get too hot right on this beautiful South Florida afternoon here. A little breeze out here, quite chilly. But on that note, got to start with my tour here. So over off on the right-hand side, we have Bahia Mar Marina where we left from. Bahia Mar is the 2nd largest marina out here in Fort Lauderdale. Alright, Bahia Mar's got over 300 boats for these mega yachts. These yachts range anywhere from $2 million upwards of $200 or $300 million. Alright, about 3 months ago during the International Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, we actually had a yacht parked out here that had a parking garage for its cars. and 2 helicopters on top. Alright, you guys probably don't believe me. You guys will be lucky enough to see some out here today at the port. We do have one out there that has a parking garage, not for its cars, but for a 45-foot center console. Alright, about double the size of the boat that's on the left-hand side, parked inside a mega yacht. Absolutely incredible to see. Like I said, you guys will see it out there today. It was out there this morning. So there's a little bit of, quite a bit of traffic up here in the Intercoastal. If you're ever traveling north here on the Intercoastal, we're going to point out this one house to you guys, and I will point it out to you guys once we spin around here in a moment. But the Intercoastal Waterway is protected waterways, and it's over 4,000 miles long. We can literally stay in protected waterways all the way up to Boston. Alright, we can even continue down south, down around the tip of Florida, and all the way back up towards Texas, all inside protected waterways. And this was all installed during the Cold War back in the 30s to keep our submarines safe from the Russian U-boats. So not too bad here. Like I said, we are spinning ourselves around here now. I'm going to point out this house to you guys. It's going to be the first house here of my tour. It's going to be this cream colored house here with the teal trim. It's going to be on the right hand side here in a moment or two. We're drifting our way around. But this house is coming into view. It's called a Papillon house. And anybody know what Papillon means? Butterfly. Yes, butterfly, absolutely. It means butterfly in French. And there's a reason for that, guys. This house here coming into view on the right hand side is the exact shape of a butterfly, right? It's going to be this cream color one with the teal trim down the right hand side. So if you guys went onto Google Maps and look from on top, the side of the house here on the right hand side are the wings, and the double staircase and coming down the middle are the antennas. Right? And that house is a 0 property line home. It really takes up the entire lot. Meaning, where do you put the pool and where do you put the parking garage? Well, that parking garage is right underneath that staircase. It's space for a 10-car garage and 2 stretch limousines. Yeah, that's the problem with my house, guys. Can't fit that second limousine. Nobody ever wants to come over. So where do you put that pool, right? Well, that pool's up there on the roof. 0 fan lines up there. I'm sure nobody's out there today. Quite chilly out here today. But these poor millionaires, they're not going to take those flights of stairs up there, right? Absolutely not. So what they do, guys, they install that elevator, and that elevator goes to the parking garage, all the way up there to the top floor of the roof where the pool is at. So that's the Papillon house. Can I give you guys a little insight about the Papillon house there? It is up for sale at a price of $23 million. Alright, it was built 15 years ago, and for the last 13 it has sat vacant. Right? It was just a tax write-off. Most of these larger houses out here, most of them are just tax write-offs. I will be mentioning multiple millionaires' names. A lot of them do own upwards of 10 or 15 houses out here on the website. So most of them are tax write-offs. But where the Papillon house is located, right? That is part of a unique neighborhood there. That was Wanxinda on the drive there on the right-hand side. And those these houses you guys are looking at are waterview properties. So the rest of the houses you guys are seeing here today are going to be waterfront properties. Never seen Waterview and Waterfront is Waterview properties with $4 million have to drag the heavy pools across the street to the mega guys. Well, they got a little money, so they just pay somebody else to do that for them. But the Waterview properties are significantly cheaper. When I say cheaper, I don't mean by a lot. Alright, Waterview properties are Wanxinda Drive going to range anywhere from $2 million to upwards of $20 million. The waterfront properties you guys are seeing here today are going to range anywhere from $5 million upwards of $40 million. And we do have a few houses past that $40 million price point, and I will point those out to you guys when we do pass by them. But on that note, guys, I'm going to start with my first house here in Anthony Millionaires. Right now, it's going to be on the right-hand side. It's going to be that white house with the red roofs right on the beautiful landscape down back there. And the house here on the right-hand side here, all you guys are going to recognize this gentleman, very well-known gentleman down here in South Florida, owner of 30 used car dealerships. You guys might see his commercials on TV. Did a car, truck, or van, who are you going to call? Not Ghostbusters, guys. Not Ghostbusters. No, Rudy! Mike Rudy. My parents always told me, hey, Steven, you got to go to school. You got to get a degree. You got to get a good job. You don't want to end up being a used car salesman. Oh, yeah, I went to school, I haven't got my degree yet, but I got a job. And what am I doing, guys? I'm going to help the used car salesman out there. Not too bad there, but just like running. Over on the left-hand side, white house here, black windows on the left. Black windows, Jesse's on the left, creepy statues on back. And the house on the left-hand side was built from like last month for 2 days. Alright, then it got shut down again. Over 2,500 plus people there with no mask on, so you guys can guess how that went with the local authorities. Not the best since they get shut down once again. So we're coming upon another bridge here. This will be the third and final bridge here for today, up here in the river. And this is FPC, our railroad bridge. And the bridge center is not here. That bridge center is actually all the way up there in Jacksonville. Controlling this bridge remotely from 300 miles away. It's not too bad there. But if you guys are not from down here from South Florida, we do have a train called a Brightline train. That Brightline train goes over 100 miles an hour. We can make a trip from Miami to West Palm Beach in about 25 minutes. And after about 20-24, we're actually going to extend that railroad track from Miami to Disney World, increase the speed of the train significantly, able to do that trip from Miami to Disney World in about 45 minutes. So not too bad, they're taking the train. Instead of driving a 4.5-hour drive, well, I just take that bright line train and do about 45 minutes. So not too bad there. Overall, on the right hand side, like I said, that brick path just keeps going and going and going. Doesn't get into the bunch of stuff. Just like we had talk basketball and faster to the point where you guys just don't understand me. We'll do slow down for you guys. But anyways, overall on the right hand side, I want you guys to look at those older structures there. Those older structures there on the right hand side, you want to the older village out here for a while ago. It's established back in 1895. For the first 15 years, local settlers had a good time. But it wasn't until those local Indians attacked. Once the local Indians did attack, the village just sit here vacant for quite a while. Nowadays we don't have any of those Indian attacks, and all those older structures are now hotels, motels, restaurants, and museums. It's a nice touch down here to Fort Lauderdale. Over off in the distance on the right hand side, a large tall white building off in the distance on the right hand side, and that is our local IMAX. And the IMAX here is a 5-story tall movie screen, giving you guys that real experience. Now it's donated to us by the man himself, Mr. Wayne. I think, like I said, that man pretty much owns everything down here. And we are Captain is going to spin us around here, and I got one last thing for you guys. I see some of you guys already pointed it out there. It's going to be off on the right hand side. And what does that name say on the side of the building there on the right hand side? Yep, Wanxinda, absolutely. And that's the last thing Mr. Wayne has did donate to us down here in Fort Lauderdale. And that is our performing arts and bringing in all these Broadway shows like Lion King, Wicked, and Hamilton, you name it. We got it down here in Las Olas. So all thanks to Mr. Jim Nog and Mr. Wayne, it did help shape up this beautiful city that you guys have witnessed here today. But like I said, Captain Heather, house bonus round, we're going to be treats for stuff out of the New River. So if you guys have something on the way in, you guys will now see it on the way out. Your photographer is going to be coming around passing out the photos. If you guys do like your photos, make sure you guys purchase them from there from your photographer. If you guys get up to go grab a drink from the bar, go express them, just make sure you guys have your mask on. If you guys are freezing like I am, we do serve hot chocolate, adult hot chocolate, Irish coffee, regular coffee. We also sell blankets and hoodies back there at the bar if you guys are freezing. And if you guys have not paid for parking, right, parking's going to be $7. You guys can pay for parking back there at the bar. Make sure you guys pay for parking there with Trey or Gina. You do not need that first ticket. All you gotta do is get up out of your seats, walk back to the bar, and pay that $7 for parking. But on that note, guys, really, you guys hear some nice music, and we'll pick up with you guys in about 40 minutes or so out there in the port. Thank you very much, guys.
I was supposed seafood y grill.
Mucho cuidado para que no lo mira el puente este como está de un puente de tren al tren, ¿no? Sí, porque es un puente antique de eso de reliquia marino. No, en este. Aquella, la primera. Esa noche que es la que quiero que tú. Tienes que jugar al loto. Tienes que jugar a la ruleta. Habitación antigua. Sí. Ya esta es más moderna.
It's actually nice. Wait, let me see. Yeah, but hey. Oh, nice.
¿Qué está haciendo? Ah, leyendo. Mira el otro ahí, mira. Mira pescando.
And LYC is one of the top sailing schools in South Florida and in the nation. And we do have the record for the most people to go on to compete in the Olympics further on in their years, to go on to win those gold medals and silver medals in the Olympics. So not too bad there at LYC, like the top sailing school in South Florida and one of the top in the nation. But back to what I was saying, you're gonna need a yacht of money, all right? A membership there at LYC is gonna cost around $8,000 a month. And that does not include a slip for your boat. If you want to keep your boat there, LYC is going to cost around $12,000 to $15,000 a month, depending on the size of your vessel. For that price, why not just buy a house on here and put your boat behind your house, right? Well, like I was saying, guys, welcome to Fort Lauderdale, where nothing makes sense out here, out on the water. Continue down the left-hand side, we got the most photographed house there in the corner lot. That is the White House. Kind of resembles one from DC. Out for sale at a price of $27 million. And the house on the left-hand side was built for Mr. Jack Hutchins. Alright, Mr. Jack Hutchins was the parts builder for GM Motors. He actually developed a clutch on all these ACs of all these cars. And the clutch system worked so well, he started using it on all their cars there. Well, GM decided to use his idea, and after 6 or 7 years without any benefit or any recognition, Mr. Jack Hutchins decided to sue General Motors for $2.75 for every car that left the line. Bringing in our door there. So I'm sure the number one question you guys have been waiting to ask me this entire trip is, Steven, what is the largest house out here in Fort Lauderdale? We're going to be looking at there on the right-hand side. So we'll start with that first white piling, make its way all the way down to give you that tan house there with the red roof, all multiple palm trees. And the house there on the right-hand side is 30,000 square feet for 2 people. The house was built for Doug and Linda Von Allman. They were married for over 20 years. And I guess it's a key to a happy marriage there. 15,000 square feet for her, 15,000 square feet for him. Never have to see each other ever again, right? Well, I'm only kidding, guys. They love each other so much they're actually out traveling the world on a 250-foot super yacht, Lady Linda. And when Lady Linda is parked behind the house, you can no longer see the house anymore. Gives you guys an idea how large that vessel is. So you're gonna wonder, well, what's this 30,000 square feet cost? Well, the house has been up on the market for 5 years at a price of $41 million. The other part, wonder, well, what do they do for a living to own a yacht and a house outside? Well, Doug and Linda Von Allman are the owners of L'Oreal Cosmetic, Sunglass Hut, and Swamp Talk. Yep, there's your answer. Everybody's flopping their heads there. And the final question I put in here, which still puzzles me, is, so you know, what do they pay in property taxes? Well, we did our research here at Dumb Queen. They pay over $1,000 a day in property taxes for a house to live in 2 weeks out of the entire year. Continue here on the right-hand side is the gray, black, and blue boat here. Once you actually pass this boat here and at the house on the right-hand side. And the house on the right-hand side was built for Johnny Weissmiller. Anybody know who Johnny Weissmiller is? Oh, the famous Tarzan, yep. And this house here is one of the only houses here that has a 16-foot deep pool. And that 16-foot deep pool was installed there for Mr. Johnny Weissmiller to practice his high dive from the top floor into the pool during his filming as Tarzan. So not too bad. He was also a famous Olympic swimmer and diver, and they did give him that nice activity pool here in Fort Lauderdale. Over off on the left-hand side, you got the tan house, the green trim around the windows for sale, sign listed at $19 million. And the house on the left-hand side was built back in the 30s. It was built for the Anheuser-Busch family as a Budweiser beer. And it's one of the only houses out here that has a basement. That basement was installed during Prohibition to hide all that booze back in the day. Over off on the right-hand side, you got the tan house, the green trim corner lot here. And this house on the right-hand side is owned by Tom Cruise. And that is Tom Cruise with a K. Right, that's not the real Tom Cruise there. That's the inventor of hover-around scooters. Not the Top Gun guy. I know somebody wish it was. Yeah, if it was, I'm sure later today you guys will be knocking on his door saying, hello, Mr. Tom Cruise, may I get your autograph? But nope, that's not Tom Cruise. Not the same guy. Earlier on in my tour, I mentioned the gentleman's name, Mr. Chuck West. Purchased that 7 home estate for Mr. Wayne Wanxinda. Like I said, Mr. Chuck West was owning around 4 or 5 houses out here in Fort Lauderdale. Well, I guess he got bored of owning 5 of them, so he decided to tear one down there on the right-hand side. It breaks my heart to look at it every day. Where that excavator's at. It was a 14,000 square foot mansion. He just decided to tear it down. There was nothing wrong with it. It was pretty much brand new. Tore it down for no good reason. I don't know why. Like I said, these millionaires do whatever they want out here. But anyways, before the house was tore down, he used to have a yacht parked out back named Party Girl. And you're probably thinking there, well, Party Girl is a weird name for an older guy, right? Well, that yacht's not for him, guys. He purchased a 160-foot yacht for his 16-year-old daughter's sweet 16th birthday present. Alright, why does a 16-year-old need a 160-foot yacht? Well, why not, guys? I gotta say this entire trip, welcome to Fort Lauderdale. Does anybody want to guess what I got for my 16th birthday? That's pretty close. I got a jog, guys. No 160-foot yacht there for me. But on that note, guys, we're entering to Gilmar. You guys must remain seated until we're tied up. Once we're tied up, y'all all ashore. You have to disembark from front row to back row. If you guys parked up to Gilmar, you guys are all good to go. You guys purchase those parking tickets. If you guys parked across the street, please do me a big favor. Please be careful. Alright, quite reckless drivers out here. It is Saturday night. It is A1A. They're quite crazy. If you guys have me out of your photos from your photographer, he'll be standing down at the end of the ramp. And if you guys enjoyed my tour and want to show me some love and appreciation, I'll be standing down at the end of the ramp as well. Thank you very much, guys, for trying to welcome Miss Jump Queen. Have a great day and a great night. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Applause, applause, applause. Give applause.
Man, I'm sure that name doesn't ring a bell, but he's executive producer of the hit 80s TV show, Miami Vice. Right, over 17 episodes working on there, and I'm also known as the bad guy. So, continue there on the left-hand side, you get the White House with a tan column, light blue light out back. And the house on the left-hand side was built for Roger Wittenberg. I'm sure the name also doesn't ring a bell, but he is the founder of Ladies of America Fitness, as in LA Fitness. Did we get that LA Fitness membership? Yeah, if you do, like I do, we are helping pay for the house and boat there. That boat's practically ours, yeah. That's my boat. Not too bad there, Mr. Roger Wittenberg. Coming into view on the left-hand side, it's a beautiful large white house with their corner lot there. White seawall glass railing all the way around the property there on the left-hand side. And this large white house on the left-hand side is the most expensive property sold out here in Broward County at a price of $27.4 million. I was quite ashamed when they sold the house. I was quite upset. I almost purchased it when they said about 0.4. But the gentleman who lives there, nobody special. He's a very successful entrepreneur. And when he purchased that house, he also purchased a 160-foot Mangusta sport yacht. But when he purchased that yacht, he didn't realize he didn't have deep enough water out back to park that yacht. So half of that yacht needed to be parked in his neighbor's yard. Well, he didn't like his neighbor very much. So he asked his neighbor, what would it take to get out of here? Well, his neighbor told him, give me $8 million, I'll be out of here. Well, 1 month later, the house is closed on for $8 million. Anybody want to guess what you do with the house? Yeah, we'll it down. Absolutely. If you guys look straight back on the left-hand side, you can see that big red sculpture behind his house there. That's his $8 million sculpture right there. Right? If anybody here ever told you money doesn't solve problems, they're lying, right? Well, this is a lot of money solves a lot of problems. So after having that beautiful Fort Lauderdale skyline entering New River where we'll be heading out west, but if we continue down south on the Intercoastal, so around 5 hours down south, we'll end up in the Bayside market of Miami. 10 hours after that, we'll end up in the party town of Key West. 5 hours after that, we'll be in Cuba. And 5 minutes later, we'll all be in jail. So we're not going to be going that way, guys. We're going to continue our way up here through the New River. So over off on the right-hand side, it's going to come into view in a second. This wind is absolutely brutal here. It's going to be that orange house there, red roof, striped awnings on the right-hand side. Beautiful landscaping, empty lot next door. And the house on the right-hand side, it was built for the poor little rich girl, Gloria Vanderbilt. Right? Some of you guys who do not know who that is, I'm sure you guys know her son, Mr. Anderson Cooper, Mr. CNN. And the house on the right-hand side was just a little winter cottage for Gloria. Right? She only spent around 3 or 4 weeks down here out of the entire year. Spending the rest of her time up north, over there in Rhode Island and in Providence. So not too bad there for Ms. Vanderbilt. Over off on the left-hand side, you got our local Triangle Sandbar there. A few brave souls out here today. Definitely not local, or not water, it's freezing here today. But I tried to go sandbar on a regular sunny hot day, there'd be over 200 or 300 boats parked there on the left-hand side. And the water depth there ranges anywhere from 4 feet of water upwards of 6 inches of water at low tide. And all these mega yachts, right, that are coming around the world, those captains pay no attention to any of those markers and actually run those mega ships to ground, causing millions of dollars in damage, right? With the right of check called the song. They try to go sandbar there, it's nicknamed Gilligan's Island for that reason. Well, you can see the crocodile right there on the right hand side. Look, there's a crocodile right there in the water. You can see it right there on the right hand side. Towards the backhand side, right there on the right hand side. You can see it right there on the right hand side. In the water. You can see the crocodile? Right there on the right hand side. You can see it? Right there in the water. You can see it? Right there. You can see it in the water. Right there on the right hand side. The little statue. The little statue, guys. I know. Wow, you guys are not energetic today. You guys definitely have a few blood clots today. You guys are too cold. Is that the New Year's resolution already ended? I know, we're already on the 9th here. It's already been a week. But anyways, maybe that little crocodile looks familiar, right? Maybe a logo on a polo. Yeah, what cost? Also built Mr. Radial cost, unless you guys know he sadly did halfway. But a little crocodile became a deed to the house until campfire hurricane gulls come by. The little crocodile is going to be sitting there, a beautiful midnight express getting to work. Anyways, continue here on the right hand side. We got the empty lot there, 3 signs out back on the right hand side. It used to be a $5 million house there built for the $6 million man, the makers. As you guys know, him and Farrah Fawcett did have the problems throughout the years, so Lee was forced to sell his home. Well, his house is now selling, so he asked his realtor, why is my house now selling? And the realtor told us, because you have major faucet problems. Wow, none of you guys are, right? Not even half of you guys that feel bad for me, or none of you are laughing. I see how it is. Well, make sure you guys hit the trigger key back there to make me a whole lot funnier for you guys. If not, I will. Alright? Over off on the left-hand side, we have the tin house there, white trim around the windows. Multiple pontoons up back. And the house on the left-hand side of the tin house there, it's owned by the largest drug dealer down here in South Florida. Right, he's a real good friend of mine. I was hanging out with him this morning. Come on, you guys know better than that. That's the owner of Walgreens over there, guys. Come on, man. You guys know better than that? I was born here in South Florida and not born in Colorado. I know better. Over off on the right-hand side, you have the orange house that red roof scratch awnings. And the house on the right-hand side was built for Mr. Herbert Cole. Not sure the name doesn't ring a bell, but maybe that last name does. He is the founder of Kohl's department stores. Anybody here got that Kohl's cash? Yeah, now you guys know what we do with your cash over there. And that empty lot is also his where he's building his dream home, making an existing structure his guest house. And that's what that is for Herbert Cole. At one point in time, he did own the Milwaukee Bucks. He no longer owns it, but he did at one point in time a few years ago. Continuing here on the right-hand side, getting blasted by the wind here. We got the yellow house there, green trim around the window. It looks like they decided to tear down this pool. That's why these millionaires do whatever they want there on the right-hand side. But that yellow house there was built for Pamela Huizinga. And if you guys pay attention on my tour, we'll be mentioning that last name quite a bit. So just make sure you guys are paying attention to give you a little bit of history behind that Huizinga last name. You'll be surprised a little bit about them. Continue there on the right-hand side. You got the White House there, 2 signs out back. And that house on the right-hand side is listed at $34 million. And out on the right-hand side was built for Bonnie and Whit Hudson, family of the Huizingas. Alright? Journey across the canal, still on the right-hand side. We have this cream color house, the gazebo out back, black railing on the 2nd floor there. And this property here on the right-hand side is owned by Mr. Stephen Hudson, also family of the Huizingas. So you guys are probably wondering who the Huizingas are. How are they able to afford 3 houses right next to each other? Well, the Huizingas are our local billionaires. You guys are probably wondering, how do they make all their money? Well, Mr. Wayne Huizinga, the mastermind behind it all, is the only man in history to build up 3 Fortune 500 companies, right? Those companies being Waste Management, AutoNation, and Blockbuster. And you guys might think there, well, Blockbuster, he busted on that one, right? Absolutely not. Mr. Stephen Hudson there was the CEO of the company for Uncle Wayne, and he told us, Uncle Wayne, you know what, we gotta get rid of Blockbuster. Something else is better coming down the line. So they did. They sold Blockbuster to Viacom for $8.4 billion. About 4 months before Netflix came out. So that's what we're doing with the money, guys. Don't become a billionaire overnight without knowing what you're doing. So what else did you do to be a billionaire, right? Well, Mr. Wayne Huizinga is the only man in history to own 3 major sports teams at the same time. Those sports teams being the Florida Panthers, the Florida Marlins, and the Miami Dolphins. Believe it or not, to this day, they still own around 50% of the Miami Dolphins. So not too bad at the Huizingas. I don't remember which canal it is on the right-hand side. I believe it's the one coming in to be here. But at one point in time, Mr. Wayne Huizinga did own an entire canal all to himself on the right-hand side. And after owning it for around 4 or 5 years, he got bored of owning the entire canal. So he tried to sell it off. Well, nobody could afford it. So you have to split up the entire canal for 30 separate lots. Just for the average multi-millionaire to own a piece of it. Give you guys an idea how much money you have during the prime years. Over off on the left-hand side, got a pretty good deal for you guys here with this house, that brick house there. 60,000 square feet, 8 bed, 12 bath, 4.5 acres, all for the price of $3.2 million. You guys might think, well, there's got to be something wrong with it. That's too cheap now, right? Well, what's wrong with it is that $3.2 million is a 10% down payment on a $32 million home. That's what's wrong with it. Continue there on the left-hand side, got a beautiful 7-home estate there, formerly owned by the man himself, Mr. Wayne Wanxinda. So the left-hand side, get the little orange house there, that is the mother-in-law's house, it's far away from the main home. Then get the little greenhouse there in the middle, that is the dog's house. Yes, the dog has his own little house. And the rest of that 5-home estate here on the corner was all from Mr. Wayne Wanxinda himself. So once you look at this blue bell tower here on the corner lot there, so the top level of that blue bell tower, you got those bells played over 1,000 of Wayne's favorite songs. So on the second level there, you got a hot tub to enjoy a beautiful day like it is today. And down below is where Mr. Wayne Wanxinda used to wave to us as he passed by. I want you guys to make bigger. I want you guys to look super close to that blue bell tower. You guys see all that gold trim around the edges there on the left-hand side? It might be a little hard to see there, but that is all real 24 karat inlaid gold. Alright, these billionaires spare no expense on their properties and toys out here, guys. As you guys see, the further up river we go, the bigger the house it just seems to get. So sadly, Mr. Wayne Wanxinda did pass away in 2018 with a net worth of $4.2 billion. And his house on the left-hand side sold at auction for $14 million to a man named Chuck West. Mr. Chuck West is the owner of Pet Supermarket, very similar to Petco and PetSmart. And if you guys pay attention on my tour, we'll be mentioning Mr. Chuck West's name a few more times as well. He does own around 4 or 5 houses out here for a lot of them. And I will point them out to you guys when we do pass by them. So just make sure you guys pay attention there. Coming into view on the left-hand side is going to be the White House with gray roof, right here on the left-hand side. Now, it kind of looks like Harry Potter, right? There's a reason for that as well. Mr. Wayne Wanxinda went up to Universal and asked the architects in Harry Potter role to build him a house. But he didn't like Harry Potter. He actually hated Harry Potter. He had that house there built for his niece Holly as a $22 million starter home for her wedding present. Anybody here get a $22 million starter home? More like a crock pot or a blender, right? Maybe not even that. Maybe like a $15 gift card to Starbucks. Yeah, sounds about right. Over off on the right-hand side, I want you guys to study this house from here. You got all those tiles and pavers. Beautiful landscaping there. The house on the right-hand side, kind of like a Mexican-style home there, right? Well, there's a reason for that. The house there on the right-hand side was built for the Bell family. I was in Taco Bell. Alright, they no longer live there. They did sell the house about a year and a half ago. Moved to Arizona. Don't understand why they left this beautiful climate down here in South Florida. But as some will say, to each their own. Overall, on the left-hand side, we have this cute house here, a white boat on the left, high risk. This house on the left-hand side started in a very famous movie, started in the movie Cape Fear, starring Robert De Niro and Nick Nolte. And during the filming of that movie, they yanked out all those palm trees and put in pine trees. Reason being, Mr. Nick Nolte was actually under house arrest during the filming of that movie and couldn't make it to the Carolinas to finish filming it up there. It's pretty funny there. Continuing on the left-hand side, we got the cream colored house with a square pool out back. And the house on the left-hand side was built for a former Miami Dolphins coach, Nick Saban. And he no longer lives there, got a better deal over there in Alabama. Over off on the right-hand side, you got that beautiful white house there, Miami Vice-style house there. The house on the right-hand side was just finished about a month ago and was put up for sale for $19 million. But they did take it back off the market and they did complete the home. Continuing on the right-hand side as well, we got the white and green boat on the left-hand of the house here. And I want you guys directly in the center of this house, you have those French doors. So everything to the left of those French doors is an 1,800 square foot kitchen. Guys. Last night when we passed by here, they had all the lights on. We actually saw the wife with Google Maps open. She was looking for her pots and pans. Yeah, I get it. Half you guys like, so funny, Steve. I get it. Half you guys in the press in the back of my mind, like, I should have listened before Steve was there. He's like giving out any good prices. No worries, guys. I can't afford it either, so we're all on the same boat. All right, no pun intended there. But anyways, continuing on the right-hand side, there's the green condominiums there on the right-hand side. And the studio there is going to start around $30,000, right? Not too bad there. Well, as you guys know, there's always a catch with me, and that catch was the price back in 1970, right? Nowadays, you can't get a studio there at those condominiums on the right-hand side for anything less than $250,000. Now, let's just say you're a big baller, you got $250,000 sitting underneath a mattress somewhere back at home. Well, that doesn't include the 4.5-year waiting list for a studio there at those condominiums. And I welcome you for a lot of those guys. There's nothing's cheap, nothing's free, and nothing makes sense out here, out on the water. You hear me say it multiple times. Continue down the right-hand side with that white building cantilever around the windows. And this building on the right-hand side was built for the John Robert Power School of Modeling. And back then, the beautiful models used to sunbathe right on the lawn there. And for some reason, we always had engine problems. So over off on the left-hand side, the home under construction there. So he definitely purchased a house there, wanted to tear it down. Until he found out he couldn't. Reason being, it was formerly owned by the gangster, Mr. Bugsy Siegel. Continue on the left-hand side of the we have the yellow house for white skin on the back. And the house on the left-hand side is owned by a former mayor of Fort Lauderdale, Mr. Jim Noggle. Mr. Jim Noggle was the longest serving mayor of Fort Lauderdale. Served over 8 terms. And before he was in office, he used to be nothing but boat yards and shipyards out here, out in the water. It used to be quite a funky smell as well. Nowadays, not so much. You got all these beautiful multi-million-dollar homes and all the beautiful skyscrapers there off in the distance. So all thanks to Mr. Jim Noggle there. And you guys are wondering, what's the oldest hotel out here, right? Well, the oldest hotel there is going to be off towards the center right-hand side. It's going to be that big, tall green building there off in the distance. It is the Riverside Hotel, built back in 1935. And about 3.5 years ago, they did add this extension to it here on the right-hand side. This is the boathouse by Riverside Hotel, kind of blocked by this boat here. But on the right-hand side, you got that pool. Looks like a few brave souls out there. Then down below, you got nice, fine dining. Like I said, it's going to be blocked here by this boat here. And then up top, you can work off all those hard-earned calories up top there at the gym. So not too bad there by the Riverside Hotel and the boathouse there. Nice extension out of there. A lot of celebrities have stayed here over the years. One of our former presidents actually stayed here back in the 80s. Now it's Mr. Ronald Reagan. The president can stay here, anyone can stay here. All is welcome. It looks like they're getting ready for a wedding there. They're always having some major events there at the Riverside Hotel. Like I said, one of the most famous hotels down here in Fort Lauderdale. Continue there on the right-hand side. It's a White House there, green trim on the right-hand side, kind of blocked by the water taxi here. Another White House there on the right-hand side is the Stranahan House. It is the oldest structure out here in Fort Lauderdale. Built back in 1901. It was built for Frank and Ivy Stranahan. Frank was a businessman and Ivy was the first school teacher. Also served as a local Indian trading post back in the day. Hence the name Don McQueen. Used to be nothing but jungle out here out on the river, and the local Indians would make their way up and down the river here, trading over to the locals at the Stranahan House. Over off on the left-hand side, we have this white boat here, glass windows. And this white boat here on the left-hand side is Musette, and Musette does weddings. They also do divorce parties. So if you guys get married and divorced in the same year, they're on Musette to buy one, get one. So not too bad, a little boat down here in Fort Lauderdale. If you guys look on either side, right or left-hand side, you're going to see that brick path. You're going to see people walking, riding their bikes, walking their dogs, walking their children, walking their hamsters, walking something. But that brick path there on either side was all donated to us by the man himself, Mr. Wanxinda. Like I said, he gave a lot back to us down here in a small city of Fort Lauderdale. And that brick pathway on either side is 10 plus miles of brick that takes you around our small city of Los Olos. And if you guys want to come down here, I'd recommend you guys take a walk on it. Give yourself a little personal tour of our small city here. There's lots to see in this little area here. So again, half of you guys are still impressed in the back of your mind. Like I said, you guys are not going to listen to me up there. I get it, no hard feelings there. So I got a pretty good deal for you guys here on the left-hand side. It's going to be a big, tall tan building there, right? It has New River Landing condominiums. And the studio there is going to start around $150,000. Not too bad there. All the way up to $9.5 million for that penthouse up top. Well, you guys are looking at me like, Steven, I can't afford the 9.5. So where's that $150,000 coming? Well, the $150,000 studio is going to get you that first floor right next to the dumpster. Alright guys, the $9.5 million penthouse view for that price out here in Fort Lauderdale. Like I've been saying this entire trip, guys, nothing's cheap, nothing's free, nothing makes sense out here, out on the water. And it looks like we have a few maniacs out here on the little boat there. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, well, okay. That's good. We don't want no more boat crashes out here. Seems to happen almost one every single day. If you guys do see any boat crashes out here, just make sure you guys get those amateurs around the claws. You guys got a chance to happen. That's something that happens here quite daily. Anyways, you ever wonder what's the largest hotel out here in Fort Lauderdale, right? Well, over off in the distance on the left-hand side, you can see that big, tall, white building there off in the distance, right? Over 15 minutes, you guys stay there last night. They get free meals in the bar and every room, and they also get a free cell phone. That's our $60 million Broward County jail there, guys. Yeah, I know. So yes, these inmates get $1 million view all for free while you guys are stuck paying $150,000 for that dumpster view back over at New River Landing. If you guys are a younger couple on board and thinking about raising a family, I do recommend the jail there. It is the best gated community down here in Fort Lauderdale. Make sure you keep your kids safe there. And all these boats here on the left-hand side are just the locals that turn themselves in for a nice free room there. But enough with the joke, because I get it. You guys are really not vibing with me today. Like I said, half of you guys are probably dead back there from blood